attack became readable and stopped being effective, right? We're going to see a lot of corner pressure in the Sheik Falco matchup. So hopefully some of these things I'm mentioning persist. But when we're talking about opportunities in stage control, Kins0 showing what that can look like, you have different options available to you to what your attack is going to look like. And sometimes the last thing you want to do is just bump the ball over and give it back to them, which is essentially giving them center stage. So, I mean, with that being said, volleyball is the exact same thing as Melee, as we all know. And we're into it, man. Sheik Falco, Kins0, Max. We saw Max earlier. Kins0, we actually have some, I believe we have some info on. So
let me hop in on this. I mean, again, we saw Max earlier, so let's paint a little picture as we're starting out. Max with the lead, but Kins0, really, really impressive player. Box Falco, which I love to see. We don't see too many of them yet. So, been on the box for a little bit. What I love about Kins0, again, like in this order, is his punish game, then his pressuring, and then his recovery, right? And I think he's a Falco that is willing to play the mix-ups. There are times where he goes for stuff that isn't a true combo, but if it read correctly, if he has a good read on the player, can lead to a much greater result. And this kind of brings to the theme of risk and reward in Melee, right? Melee is inherently just, we're gamblers. We are filthy gamblers, and we love gambling. And it's all about weighing risk and reward. And good characters can do low-risk stuff for high rewards. And Kins0 is trying to hit a jackpot every time. And the question is, what will Max do as Sheik, inherently who has to play a little bit more on the back foot, but not right now? What will Max do against this spacing, right? We've been talking about Fox, but Falco is a madman, and we see a DBZ, JD. Wow. And we're going... It's even Stevens right now, JD. We have a fresh start, so lead us in, please.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that we get to do a little analysis and come in 2 stocks to 2. That's the commentator's dream, right? It's like, let me finish my thought and then get back to it, and then it's a hype set right away. I mean, shit. What I saw from Max, really just to point out, is the spacing on shield. Kins0, everyone's talking about Kins0's out of shield game. Wow. And ledge game too, apparently clutching that stock with a really low percent. You hate to see it if you're a Sheik main. But this is the important stuff. So what she can do outside of shield, obviously abuse range, and Max is doing a good job of doing that. Now we're on the last stock here. We're gonna really tighten it up, see what's going on. Kins0 looking for some of that extra damage to lead in, maybe even a stock. But Max clipping with a nice little back air, bringing it even, 32%, not really that bad, but with the invincibilities coming in, up tilt, bringing those combos in, taking a huge percent lead. Now Sheik's in danger. 78's not very safe, not finding much either. Falco at 0, crouch cancel on the table, so this is all tough. This is all difficult. We're going to need to see a grab or maybe a few just lucky aerials. Grab there, miss. Now we're on the ledge. My playback is a half second behind. Hold tab. Now we're good. Looking at the stocks again. This is so hard for Sheik. Needs something here. Not getting anything. Going for a whiff grab, and we're there. Thanks for letting me shoutcast that. I'm working on it.
No, that was brilliant, JD. You did a great job. Let's put ones in chat while we lead into the next match for JD. One thing I want to talk about quickly as we're on low percent is just the fact that this is a mini game. Right? This is a game within the game of Melee, right? About who gets out of crouch cancel percent first. It's so crucial because Sheik arguably is a mid-tier when the other character is at low percent. And then suddenly becomes an amazing top tier as percent goes up. Almost like, I don't want to make a Lucario Smash 4 reference. So all I'm saying though, JD, is that percent it matters so much in every time, like in every matchup, but especially the Sheik matchup. Wow, that kills. I did not know that setup, JD.
Yeah, Falco up throw. I know there's a legendary thread on Twitter about the up throw on Falco setups. I'm not gonna touch it with a Sheik back air long stick. But we're here back to even. I think Max really pulling a lot of smart, just gameplay macro strategy here. We talk about defensive play. I'm seeing just a good mix. I'm seeing a really fluid Sheik, not trying to be obvious with where the openings are coming from, allowing kind of those stray hits to come to him when they're available. Some Sheiks, they realize that crouch cancel percent's really bad. They try to find, the grab right away. And Falcos know how to not get grabbed nowadays, especially someone like Kins0. Getting grabbed is a cardinal sin. So I like what Max is doing, trying to just find a couple ways to clip the percentages in, maybe a loose back air or fair. But this stock, full control for Kins0, loving the lasers, being safe, trying to just close it out. But we'll see. We'll see if he's able.
Yeah, I mean, Falco right now almost out of knockdown percent, so this might be almost the party starter for Sheik. Even if Max loses this stock like he does, this is where Sheik starts the party. You know, we are partying now, possibly. we are the first invites to the guests. You know, we came a little bit early, but
Sure.
you know, the thing is that I love the way that Max is playing. To go into the Sheik perspective, as Max is doing this really, really great combo off the platform,
wow,
and takes the stock and brings us even, is the platform play. These side platforms are horrible for Falco. Falco, it's such a weird height, and the best way to elaborate on it is just picture, you know, when Falco can't do anything against a Peach float height, that's what side platforms is. Sheik is pretty much just Peach floating on Falco's ass right now. And Max is just moving so good, and you know, I think the real, like, Club is the one who really showed us how strong platform play is with all of his characters, but it's so good with Sheik, and it allows for this especially low percent build, right? Again, even if this stock is lost, this percent is vital for Max, but Kins0 takes the next stock, man.
Yeah, it's actually hilarious how much the first like 20, 30, 40% on Falco is, how important that is for Sheik. It's kind of insane. It's almost, you can think of it as like how Puffs need that early percent for rest to kill. It's as important. And we see just what an opening can look like when that little bit of softening happens. Max taking a lot of softening himself. I mean, this is still really tough. Have another stock to go through. Nice edge guard to clean it up. Will.
This is the scary part, JD. Can he build the percent? This is the mini game. Look, Falco's at the end game and Sheik is playing a mini game. That is what's so dangerous right now. For Max right now, can Kins0 close it out, or will we see like Sheik just steal it? And it looks like Kins0, we're going to Zelda. This is the last bit. This might be it. It isn't, JD. Oh, but it is. What a flub.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. You hate to see flubs, but if there's a time to screw up some ledge play, it's when you're Zelda at high percent against a 30% Falco. So definitely tough for Max, down 2-0, but still looking strong. I'm still very much impressed with Max's play. I still think that just understanding what options are available at any time has been the through line. I think just a very well educated player. You see some Omsatech action there. No longer in the meta, according to Smash Lessons, or I'm sorry, whatever the hell that channel's called.
No worries, JD. But let's forget about Sheik for a little bit. Let's talk about the character of the hour, the character that's up 2-0, Kins0, right? What is he doing well? What do we like? And the first thing I like to mention here is the fact that he's playing so close to Sheik, and normally you wouldn't expect the Falco to do this. Sheik's, you know, has better mobility, and Falco is a slow man, right? He's a slow bird man. And the thing is that he has trouble getting in. But the thing with Kins0 is he is purposefully trying to play at this close, scramble, chaotic range to force Sheik and Max out of his comfort zone. And arguably that might lead to some mistakes and flubs like we saw how he took game 2 with a Zelda. But right now, we're seeing it in the form of just building up so much damage, getting Sheik out of that crouch cancel percent so that he can just take it with like a stray aerial like that Nair. And that was perfect.
I think that Kins0 obviously just showing the goods and keeping it close is just, it's tough to execute. It's I hate to say high risk, high reward. It's kind of just the top ceiling style in this matchup. You've got to make sure Sheik's uncomfortable.
Oh, that was disgusting.
Yeah, almost the sickest like little ledge hog I've ever seen against Sheik, and we see again just a really high percent. And it's not over yet. So to give as much props to Kins0 as we can before the seemingly inevitable 3-0 coming in from this game 3, I think Kins0 is just executing on the strategy of, okay, I'm going to be close. All I need to worry about is not getting hit from the out of shield options. If it's grab, if it's nair, Sheik has a few, but if you're making Sheik uncomfortable, both of those are quite committal. And that's what we're seeing constantly. You see right there, that dare on shield, perfect. Just not, clip a little bit of the space, and eventually one of those dares will hit. And
that was crazy, JD. I gotta interrupt you quickly. We're talking about like taking advantage. And even if Max is, he doesn't close this out, you know, Kins0's not changing his game plan. He has the lead, and he's building the lead by doing the same game plan that he was doing since day one of this set, right? And that's what I really love to see. That's the mark of a good top player, right? Is that they're like, hey, I have this lead. I'm not going to play scared. I'm just going to double down on what I'm doing, right? And you know, now Sheik's out of crouch cancel percent, stuff will knock down. And as you said, JD, it's looking like the inevitable. Unless we see a miracle here for Max, Kins0 could close it out. What are you thinking about, like, how does Kins0 close it out? Possibly, maybe. I don't know anymore. Things open up now.
I'm looking at the stock. I'm looking at the percent, kind of reminiscent of game one. But that grab comes out and then reminiscent of game two. What's the common denominator between game one and game two is they were losses for this Sheik. Max putting out a great performance, just outside of top 8, bit of a heartbreaker.